Welcome, this is Carrie Schell from On Point Quilter. When designing quilts in Electric Quilt, I will typically use a 3/8 inch binding. The reason for that is it resembles what my quilt will look like once complete. However, this does not necessarily give me accurate yardage for creating the binding because I like to use a double fold binding. So I have created a way that you can accurately figure out your yardage for your binding with a new project that you're going to set up in Electric Quilt 8. On the home screen, select New Project and label this Binding Calculator and select OK. Select Design a Quilt from Scratch. Select New Quilt Horizontal. Select the work table options and under All Styles, change the maximum size of block to 100 and select OK. On the Layout tab, change the number of blocks to 1 by 1. And for the finish size of the block, put in the finish size of your quilt. So for this example, we're going to have a width of 80 and a height of 90. Select the Borders tab and change the first border to mitered. Change the size of the mitered border to be the size that you want to cut the strips minus a 1/2 inch. So essentially we're going to get rid of the seam allowances. So since I like to use 2 1/4 inch strips, I'm going to put in 1.75. Select the Design tab and under Fabric Tools, select a fabric and color just the binding. Select Print and Export. Select Yardage, and now you can select the size of fabric that you want to work with. So I typically like to assume that I've got 40 to 42 inches of usable fabric, so I will select that one and have my seam allowances set to 1/4 inch and select Preview. And then if you zoom in, you can see that I would need 5/8 of the yard for the binding for my quilt. Now, to do a different quilt, really all you need to do is go to the Layout tab, and the only thing you need to do is put in the size of your new quilt. So let's say my next one is 30 by 20. Assuming I'm going to use the same strip size for my binding, which I always do, all I need to do is go to Print and Export, and now go ahead and select Yardage again, do a preview, zoom in, and for this one I will need 1/4 yard. So super simple, and now I have a program essentially in Electric Quilt that will always give me the correct yardage I need for my bindings. Thanks so much for watching. For additional tips and techniques on using Electric Quilt 8, please subscribe to my newsletter at onpointquilter.com.